Hey guys, it's Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch. Today we're going to talk about an Onan generator, a couple of just basic things, how to start the generator up, how to find out what a problem is with it, and some unique things about this generator. If you had your GMC for any length of time, you know this is an Onan power drawer. It was designed to pull out, which was kind of unique at the time. Okay, makes it easy to work on and stuff like that. The only problem with this, well, not the only problem, but one of the problems with this thing is they're getting old. They're just getting old. They're 50 years old. Onan doesn't really want to sell you parts. They want to sell you a generator. They want to get 5 or 6 grand from you. This generator is kind of very interesting. It was Onan used this block for many things over the years. Actually, Sears used this motor for a tractor. A good friend of mine, Nelson, has a tractor with this Onan motor in it. It's called a dead fire motor. What I mean by that is, you know, when you fire it up and it goes pop, 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 cute little thing, makes a little funny noise, pop noise. Well, it fires on the intake stroke to move the piston, but it also fires on the exhaust stroke. That's what the pop, pop, pop sound is. In other words, if you're 180 degrees out on the timing, 2-cylinder, you're in. So it's a dead fire. Fires every time that the piston comes up. Okay? Kind of neat, kind of unusual sound to it. Somebody says, "Oh, I don't want to start the generator. I want it to. I don't want to tax it. Keep it until I really need it." Don't do that. Don't do that. Because then when you really need it, it's not going to run. Right? You need to run your generator at least once a month. At least once a month. And load it down. When you fire it up, let it get warmed up. I'll show you. And then let it run. Load it down. Put the air conditioner on. Stuff like that. It's very important. All right. So we say, well, this generator's been sitting a long time. We want to try to fire it up. Now, in my coach still, I have a battery in here. You can see there's a battery right there. I have 2 in the front. I have one living area in the front. I have an engine battery in the front. Then I have a living area battery back here. So I've got an A-B switch. But this battery is designed just for this Onan. So anytime I go to fire it up, this Onan will start, even if I don't have anything selected on the battery selector. All right. How do we find out if this thing's going to run or not? All right. Take a jumper wire. Jumper it onto the positive terminal of the battery. Okay. Then come over here to your coil. This is the coil right here. Now, if you look on the coil, there's 2 sides. You got one side here that goes to the points. And you got the other side right here that has a couple of different wires on it. This is the positive side. This is the trigger side, goes to the points, which we'll talk about in a minute. But we want to power the coil. Now, as soon as you power the coil, what we want to hear is the electric fuel pump to run. So as soon as I put power here, you should hear, ee. That means over here, take a look. This is your electric fuel pump right here. You know, this is a newer one. I got this from Napa. I think I told you about the Napa bucket story. But you can see there's a bolt here and there's a bolt over here. The original one is a cylinder sitting here. Chances are it's bad. This is a 1 to 3 psi Facet, F-A-C-E-T, electric fuel pump from Napa. Right? So, how do we want to test this? Okay, we've got a positive on there. Here's your positive. We're going to touch it to the coil. Now, as I touch it to the coil, listen. Listen real carefully. Hear it? Coil's running. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to hit the start button. Now, after I hit the start button, I still got the power to the coil. Let it run about 10 seconds. Take the coil, take the wire off. When you take the wire off, that means that the board's working. We were hot wiring it before. It was power. Now that it's running, that means that the PC board's working, everything's working. I know they always don't start out that nice. This has always been a very good generator for me. All right. Next thing you want to talk about is the coil. Are the points. Box right here. This is a Onan Type 2 point set. When I say Type 2, the Type 1 set has a casting, has a plate on the back side. Really, really hard to get to. You got to get a mirror. The Type 2 set comes off, and there are your points right there. Right there. Real easy to get to. And to adjust your points, you have an Allen wrench right there. And this is how you adjust the points. You say, well, how do we adjust the points? All right. I'm gonna fire it back up, and we're going to adjust the points. Here we go. Let it run a little bit. Turn the points until it starts to miss, and bring it back down. You'll hear when it runs real nice. Starting to miss a little bit. Run it back. All right, now, see, we're blowing a little bit of smoke. All right, there we go. What I did here is come over here. This is your carburetor. Right under here, right there, follow that screw, is a single blade screw. This is your fuel mix. You turn it in until it starts to miss. See, that's real nice. Real nice sound right there. So you've got your spark and your fuel. These are pretty nice generators. These are pretty nice generators. You can see I've got the metal plate missing, but it still runs great. Now, you say, well, it's not forever. It's true. If you see this compartment here, I lifted the inside of the compartment. Normally there's a 4-inch drop right here that the generator fits in. What I did was I lifted the bed inside, brought the bed up a little higher, brought the compartment up to the top of the door. You say, why did I do that? Well, one day, see, I brought it right up to here. One day this generator is going to stop. And what generators have done is they've gotten taller over the years. If you look at any of the generators that are available now, it's really, really difficult because of the height to get it in this compartment. So when I had the compartment apart, I went ahead and lifted it here. So when this thing does take a dump, I can take it out and I can fit a late model generator in here. Make sense? The Harbor Freight 3500, even the Harbor Freight 5000 will fit in here on slides. I'll show you a couple of pictures down on the attachments of a Harbor Freight 5,000 watt generator on slides in this compartment. The key was to lift this up here. Does that make sense? All right. Well, you know, somebody says, well, I haven't run my generator in so long. And a lot of people up north even take the generator out. Might put in a couple of batteries and solar panels. And I got all that. But right now, generators are real nice. You know, when your wife says, I'm hot, you might think it means one thing, but what it means is that that generator better run, it better run the roof air conditioner, right? So generators are real important. And they're getting closer with solar and batteries and things to run air conditioning, but it's not quite there yet. So it is a good thing to have an operational generator. These GMCs came with what I would call one of the best generators out there. Now, if you have a Type 1 point set, give Jeff Serum a call. Their number is 863-763-1121. And ask Jeff if he can supply you with a Type 2 point set, because it's easy to change. As you saw, it's easy to adjust the points. It's easy to get to the points. It's easy to replace them. Type 1 sets are pretty tough to do. And if your generator is actually running, I get a Type 2 point set for it. All right. Well, look, if you have any other questions about your generator, something going on, give me a call. They're very, very simple generators. Here's the thing. If this motor will turn, it will create power. Now, you can't say that about a lot of the new ones because they'll have check-it circuits and all kinds of things. But these old generators, if you can fire this mother up, it will run. And, you know, in the day, having a 6,000 watt generator was a big deal back then. Yeah. Well, look, I hope this helps you. If you do have questions about your generator or anything like that, give me a call. But I hope you have as good a luck as I've had on generators. Yeah, you're gonna die now on me. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it, that's the way they are, aren't they? Well, anyway, I've had good luck with my generator. If you have problems with yours, give me a call. And if the thing just won't go, we got another option. We'll rip that thing out by the roots. All right, man. Well, look, thanks a lot. Thanks for the support. And give me a call. Talk to you next time.